Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's an honor to be here this morning, and it's wonderful to see so much enthusiasm, so many people here today. I'm just here to introduce folks, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Aaron Bell.
Good morning, good morning. I'd like to first of all do a general introduction in the form of a greeting to acknowledge the act of humility as well as the respect that's needed in the presence of this memorable moment here today. First of all, I'd like to thank all who have assembled and all who came out this morning for this cause and for this purpose. I just want to commend you, just say thank you. I'm going to just give a brief introduction of myself in regards to being the newest member of the Step-by-Step team in America. I'd like to extend a appreciation to my wife, Ms. Stephanie Bell. She's here in support of me. I would like to also extend appreciation to the Cultural Center for their presence and for their hospitality that they've shown me and shown George as well. And I just would like to say thank you for all who came out this morning again. It truly is a very emotional as well as a very inspiring moment here this morning. So I would like to say again thank you. I just want to give you a brief introduction in how I actually became a part of this team and how I actually became a good friend with George Marcello. I actually had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Marcello at a banquet that I was the keynote speaker at. And when I met Mr. Marcello, I didn't know anything about organ tissue donation. I didn't know anything about step-by-step or anything like that. I come from a impoverished African-American community in East Baltimore, where everyone out of my community is either dead or in prison. I come from a community where there is not a lot of information made available to younger African Americans in my community, so I knew nothing about organ transplant. I knew nothing about giving of something to help another individual, but I just want to share this brief testimony with you so you can get a chance to understand how I became enlightened and how I became enthused by this whole process. I actually met George at this banquet, and George walked up and George gave me a newspaper from his event that he did in Baltimore, carrying the torch through Baltimore, and it actually was in Delaware. And George walked up and gave me this paper and he gave me his card and he said to give me a call. And something was so illuminating about George's spirit, his passion, his focus, his conversation was so illuminating that when he talked to me, he changed my whole perspective on the way that I view my life. And in my conversation with George, George began to elaborately explain to me, he didn't recruit me or anything like that. He basically just shared his experiences with me about what he went through and about some of the things that he's doing with the foundation. And I felt automatically compelled to go straight to motor vehicle in Baltimore and place where it says on my Maryland driver's license to be an organ and tissue donator from that point moving forward. At that point, I've always checked no, I just want my driver's license. I never got a chance to understand that there's something that I have a responsibility to do to help save others' lives. And it's more than just to just occupy space and time. It's also need to be an active participation in making sure that I give back just as well as it was given to me. So when George enlightened me and made me aware of that, I asked to come on board. And he's welcomed me on board, and he has given me all of his love and all of his support. And I've placed my love and my support behind him as well as another brother that I believe that has a passion for making all of us, the whole entire United States, Canada, all throughout the world, aware of how important this issue is. And as I begin to start to study and do my research on this issue, I'm really seeing the political side, I'm seeing as well as the economical side, as well as the ethical side of the disadvantagement to us not being aware of giving out organs and being aware that how important it is, not just to race, but we need to be there to be a part of changing the world by making sure that regardless of what it is and who the heart or the organ or the tissue goes to, that it's to save another's life. So it's nothing greater that I have to say with my own life to be able to give of myself to help give another life. So I'm just humbled, I'm grateful, I'm honored. I don't have a lot to say because I'm a newer member to the team, but I just would like to say that just because you're here today, we just want to say thank you. We appreciate you coming out. We appreciate everything that you've done, and we want you to just educate others about this cause. This cause is something that we need to spread all throughout the world, especially in the community where I come from. I made a conscious effort to start a base in my community to start building awareness about organ and tissue transplant donation. And I'm honored, and I'm getting a lot of support. There's a lot of people that are supportive of what we're doing. And I just want to commend you guys. I want to thank you. I want to thank George. I want to thank all the facilitators here, as well as the officers and those who assembled. I want to thank you guys for your support. Take care. God bless.
Thank you, Aaron. Very inspiring. Before we bring one of our newest members up here, I'm wondering if we could get Dr. Hugh Dempsey to come up and say a few words. Thank you, Dr. Dempsey.
Thank you. I am the Deputy Director here, and it is an honor to welcome some old friends and some new friends to the center that is named for Pope John Paul II. If you know anything at all, you don't need to know a lot, but if you know anything at all about John Paul II, you realize how critically important to him was life and young people. You guys in the front row, you were what kept John Paul going when he himself was sick. If you recall the last year of John Paul II's life, which was 2005, you were just beanie babies. But 2005, he was so sick. But what he reached out for was not old people like me, but to young people. And on his deathbed, what he said to the men that were surrounding him and the nuns that had come to see him was, I went to them, they have now come to me. And what he was referring to were the 4 million young people in St. Peter's Square that were having a vigil waiting for him to go on to God. He blessed the torch that is being carried today. He blessed it because he loved George, and he had heard George's story, which is a compelling story, but a story of hope and victory. And he certainly would have loved this young woman, the young woman for whom all this is being done right now. This is a critically important thing that you're doing. It could possibly be the most important thing you're going to do this entire academic year, is walk out this door and walk with George to the next location. It's critical because it marks not just a march, a way to get out of school, a way to get out of English class, or whatever it is, but it marks you as men and women who believe in something that's bigger than you. It's very easy to get real self-absorbed and think, gosh, I'm the greatest guy on the face of the earth, and I'm the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth. But if you think and step back from the face of the earth, we're nothing. We're nothing unless we leave a mark. And today you're going to leave a mark by walking out this door and walking down the driveway, escorted by police. I thought something cataclysmic had happened here when I drove up with all the police. I thought the Pope came back. Because this is exactly where Pope Benedict sat when Pope Benedict XVI visited Washington. Right in this spot. So you are in the room that John Paul knew of. You are in the room where Benedict blessed. And so, in a way, Benedict is blessing you on this march as Pope John Paul II blessed this wonderful torch. So God bless you, and God bless you for being outside yourself today and thinking of other people who really need your strength. Thank you, and God bless you.